Hello, hello, hello. These are my absolutely wild World Cup predictions for the 2026 World Cup. It should be pretty interesting. Yeah, I think that there's some very interesting things. Do I have any data to support any of my findings? Absolutely not. This is all just kind of hopes and prayers and maybe just a little bit of fun. And our first thing is part one, random fun. So, this is essentially just looking at crazy things that could happen in the group, okay? Or crazy accomplishments that could be happened by players. So, yeah, let's jump into it. Our very first one, New Zealand is going to get out of the group stage for the first time in history. Why do I think that is? Their team is probably the best New Zealand team that they've ever had. Like, being completely honest, they've got Chris Wood at striker. Sure, he's old, right? Speaking of old, they got Mr. Old as well on the team. And I just think that based off of who they have on the squad, they are going to somehow make something happen. Do I know what is going to happen? Absolutely not. But I believe that they will get out of the group stage for the first time in history. Their group is kind of strong, but I still believe in them. All right, next one. Alexander Sørloth will have more goals for Norway than Erling Haaland in the World Cup 2026. This would actually be completely crazy if it comes true. Will it come true? I don't know. Maybe it will. But this is one of my predictions. Now, the reason why I predict this, yes, Erling Haaland is an absolute machine when it comes to goal scoring. And he's obliterated Norway's record for goals scored, and Sørloth is very far behind. However, I think based off of the groups that they're in, how the World Cup is going to be, I think that Erling Haaland is going to get like quadruple teamed, and Sørloth is going to be the man that kind of just rises up and absolutely dominates. Okay. I think that he's just going to absolutely pop off in this World Cup because everyone's going to be so focused on Haaland. And yes, I'm not saying that Haaland is not going to score any goals. I'm just saying that Sørloth is going to score more. Okay. Just because Haaland is going to be getting completely smothered by pretty much the entire defense, leaving Sørloth completely open to do his thing. That, and I can absolutely see Sørloth scoring tons of goals from corners, headers. Absolutely. Okay, moving on to the next one. This one is absolutely insane. Ecuador will make it deeper into the tournament than any Southern American team. I'm talking Argentina. I'm talking Brazil. I'm talking Uruguay. Okay? I'm talking all the other ones that are there that I don't remember. RIP Chile. But I believe that Ecuador will somehow make it deeper into the tournament than any other South American team in this tournament. They've got basically, if we're being completely honest, they got three guys. Okay? Maybe four or five, right? I mean, obviously they have 11 because that's how many, or like 26 or whatever the world qual. Whoa, they got like 26 or whatever because that's how many the World Cup squad is, right? But they got the three main boys, okay? And I think that those three main guys are going to just absolutely run through teams. They're going to be strong. They're going to fight for every single inch. I feel like Ecuador is a very like proud country to be here and to be where they are. And to be honest, I think that they know that this is probably one of their best chances ever in a World Cup. But We'll see what happens. On to the next one. Switzerland. Switzerland will make it to the semifinals. Okay. I don't know how, but they're gonna make it happen. Okay, this is my prediction. They've got great goalkeeper in Mr. Kobel. Okay, their defenders are pretty good. I highly rate Akanji and Elvidi. And I think that they've got definitely some work to do on their fullbacks, but I do believe that they have enough in their midfield. I am a little bit questioning their forwards, but I feel like they just have enough kind of spark. And wouldn't it be fantastic in a World Cup that's shared between the United States, Mexico, and Canada to have the neutral nation just like go super far? I think that that's just like a great storyline. Let's make it happen, Switzerland. They're going to do it. Why not? Okay. This next one is controversial for sure. You might see that I have the different groups. Sorry, Iraq. For some reason, you weren't in there yet, so you get a nice flag. But Croatia, Norway, and Uruguay will win their groups. And that is probably absolutely insane considering that we have England, France, and Spain there. Now, I was thinking about adding Argentina to not winning their group. However, I thought that their group was a little bit weak. And I couldn't justify it. So Argentina, I predict will probably win their group. But I couldn't justify it, where I feel like Croatia, Norway, and Uruguay, they actually could do something here. Spain definitely is probably the one that's like the hardest to like sell people on here. But I feel like the Uruguay national team is kind of a sleeper pick, and they definitely have like the strength to do really well. And they're in what is kind of coined a weaker group with, basically just not Spain. So I think that they could at least pick up 6 points there, and depending on how their goal differential works out and what happens against that Spain game, I think they could absolutely somehow squeak it out. Group L, kind of for similar reasons. Okay. I think that Croatia could absolutely dominate, right, the other two teams that are not England. Okay. And then we're kind of looking at potentially like a goal differential type of vibe. Okay. That is kind of the thing. Group I, I'm choosing Norway because I think that Norway is actually going to do something this year. I mean, we already have Surloth beating Holland in terms of how many goals are being scored, right? France has an absolutely insane team. I saw their squad. It is ridiculous. However, I think that this is just like a hard group. And I think that Norway could somehow make things happen. Could they beat Senegal? Probably. Could they beat France? I don't see why not, right? Who knows? But yeah, this is just a prediction, right? We'll see what happens. I apologize to all those fans of the nations that are not going to be at the top of the group, but this is just for some fun, you know. Who doesn't mind a little bit of fun? Okay. Part 2 is awards. Okay, so now who is going to be the awards? Well, who is going to win the awards? Well, let's see. Starting off, Golden Glove, Mr. Peace Prize himself, Gregor Kobel. Okay. Again, I mean, I predict Switzerland's going to make it into the semifinals. How are they going to get there? By not allowing goals to be scored. Okay. So I think that he will absolutely play a massive run in that prediction and will win the Gold Glove. Now, moving on to the most assists. Most assists, Martin Odegaard. Okay. I don't see how you don't get a lot of assists when you have both Erling Haaland and Alexander Sørloth and whoever else is on the Norway team. I mean, obviously, probably just mainly Haaland, and like he's gonna get like a ton of goals, right? But Sørloth, he's gonna come in, he's gonna smash Erling Haaland out of the water when it comes to goals. But either way, Martin Odegaard, most assists. Do I think that Norway is gonna go super far? I don't know. I just feel like they're gonna pull some sort of like crazy 10-0 goal situation where a Martin Odegaard's gonna get like all 10 assists, and yeah, that's just gonna be it, and no one else is gonna get enough assists to kind of compete with that. All right, moving on to our golden boot, Luis Diaz. Okay, Colombia. Let's talk about Colombia a little bit. Do I know much about the Colombian national team? Absolutely not. Do I know that they have Luis Diaz on it? Absolutely. Do I know that Luis Diaz is an absolute baller? Yes. I believe that he can somehow do it. Okay? He's going to take Colombia and he's going to kind of reach down and pull them all the way. I mean, not to the promised land. We'll get to who wins the whole World Cup prediction a little bit later, but he's going to somehow pull them to definitely some major heights. Okay? And I think a part of that is him going to be winning the Golden Boot. Okay? And yeah, that's just it. He's just going to do it. Simple. Okay? Now our golden ball, Frenkie de Jong. Okay? He's the Netherlands man. Okay? He's that guy that I feel like nobody really kind of is like, wow, he's the guy. But this World Cup, he's going to be the guy. Okay? The stuff that he's going to be doing on defense, right? Supporting that back line. Virgil van Dijk's aging, he's going to need a little bit of support. What he's going to do in terms of the through balls and the creativity that he's going to make? Absolutely. Okay? That's always been there. It's always a part of his game. He's going to slow things down, play to his strengths, play to the way that he wants to play. Okay? He's also going to contribute with a few goals here and there because, why not? You probably need to contribute with some goals to get the golden ball. At least I would assume. So, yeah, that is Frenkie de Jong. Okay? Really just a great guy, I feel like, too. I don't know why I'm throwing that out there, but I just feel like he's just like a solid lad. Anyways, moving on to our best young player. Everyone's going to say Lamine Yamal or Leonard Carl or some other superstar young chap on offense. But we got our guy, Luka Vuskovic. Okay? He is essentially a center back, a midfielder, and a striker all wrapped into one, and he's going to absolutely dominate this World Cup. Okay? The things that he was doing during the season, the fact that people were saying that he should be winning player of the season over Harry Kane, shout out Harry Kane. I mean, like, let's be real, that's insane what Harry Kane did this year. Insane. But the fact that people rate this guy so highly, and I feel like he's not being like talked enough when it comes to like the World Cup squad, I just feel like he definitely has a chance. Okay? He definitely has a chance for being the best young player, especially if Croatia make it out of that group stage over England. It's going to be like, why not? Let's freaking go. Okay? Now, the thing that you've all been waiting for. Champions. The Netherlands. The Netherlands have never won a World Cup. I was kind of shocked when I looked that up and found that. They've been there 3 times and have not won it. But this is their year. Okay? This is their year. Their goalkeeper looking great. Their defenders, I mean, they have speed, they have strength, they've got versatility all the way across the back line, right? They've got aerial threat from corners. Why not? Okay. I feel like they also can just defend really well. Their midfield, insane creativity. Okay. And kind of just like ballers. Like you got our boy Gravenberch, you've got Frankie de Jong, all winning the Golden Boot. Why not? The Netherlands got to win the thing for him to get the Golden Boot, I suppose. Right? To Johnny Reindeers, right? They're all just gonna pop off. Okay. Now their attack, a little bit lackluster. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. But I feel like they have enough. They've got Mr. Malen and Gakpo and this guy Lang that plays for Galatasaray. But I absolutely think that the Netherlands could totally be champions of the World Cup in 2026. And with that, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree with any of these absolutely insane, crazy predictions. I love to know your thoughts of who do you think is going to win? What do you think is going to happen in this World Cup? I know that there's a lot of crazy things that could happen. But yeah, with that, take care and peace.